Might. It might go on as long as a couple of weeks. Might require a couple of dates.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. It's how emotionally invested you want to be because you want that first moment together to be that much more spectacular. How did I do? Did I out every guy ever? Did I explain? Yeah, right. Okay. And by the way, for those that listen to the honesty program, and if you're a woman listening to this show, very few women actually want the real honesty of, hey, I think you're hot. Let's have sex because we're sober. That, my experience, has not worked out very well historically. That move, no matter what anybody says, if they tell you, yeah, I just got all kinds of game in the world. No, you didn't. You go to coffee first, you chase it, you make it feel special, then it has sex with you. And I don't care if she's the most heinous creature on the planet and she's a 2. You still have to do some work.
Service work, baby. Service work.
You got to buy a cup of coffee and a donut for it. You do. There's women going, are you referring to women as it? If you're below a 5, yeah, you're kind of an it. I'm sorry. Does that make me a dick?
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't be so judgmental, but stick with
trying. But then again, I date well above my station, and I've done so for quite a while.
Well, it's the only way to go. I'm with you there. We're part of that.
Oh, okay. So we've clearly defined that if you...
I'm short, but that don't mean I like
No, I agree. Okay, so if sex is a greater priority than work, sleep, eat, your child, or anything else, I guess it's then considered an addiction? I'm addicted to vagina.
Yeah, me too.
Because I work for it.
And I'm not giving it up.
The only reason a guy works... Who said that joke? Is that Jerry Seinfeld? The only reason guys went to the moon with a car was to see if there were women on the moon. And that's why they took a car, to see if there were women on the moon.
If they actually went to the moon, but don't get me
that's
going on that.
You're telling me that the people going to Mars aren't hoping there are hot women involved? You're going to be...
I don't know. Everybody, like in those Shatner Star Treks, I mean, they were all
okay,
green.
But let's just go with a compressed group of people. They're going to drop you in the Arctic with 20 people, 10 men, 10 women. Yeah, you're safely guessing that you're going to be banging someone in that pile.
There's plenty of women on Earth.
I've never understood that. I don't know how guys get so wrapped up over one woman. And, again, calling a pot and a kettle black. Yes, I agree.
Right.
I can get as emotionally involved as anybody. I can see you smiling as I'm saying it, Ian, knowing that I get emotionally wrapped up in what I'm involved with. And downright suicidal. It happens.
It happens.
That's the way it is. Because you're emotionally invested.
Everybody goes through it. You got
to think of it like a tree. A vagina is much like a tree, gentlemen. Here's my advice. It's like a plant. You need to water it. You need to care for it. You need to fertilize it. You need to take care of it. And it's connected to roots, and it's connected to leaves. Those leaves need sunlight. And that sunlight is in the form of dating, nice words, Gucci.
Romance.
Gucci is in that pile.
Foreplay.
Chanel. Prada.
Caviar.
Yes. There was a discussion about a New York trip. There was a discussion recently about a New York trip for Christmas through Thursday, and by the time I did the math, 4 days was averaging out to a couple of $1,000s a day in New York. I'm like, really? We could stay in Tribeca.
Yeah, what is it, like 13 degrees
no, it's
there?
47. It's actually warm. Yeah.
Oh, really? It's not that much warmer
it's
here?
Not bad. I haven't been there in a few years. Would have been nice. But I keep angling for Vegas. Nobody listens to me. I just like it because of the danger and the drama. It's just so nice to be so close to the fire and see it.
Well, you never know when you're going to run into Sinatra's
You never know.
coach.
Okay, what's the second question?
I frequently get email from men struggling with sex addiction. Why do you think so many men in recovery wrestle with this addiction?
I'll answer. Can I answer for the class? Gentlemen, for listening, women, take a pen and a pad. You have the vagina. We have not been able to replicate it ever. We're making robots. We're making fucking robots to replicate the vagina.
Yes.
And for those of you who don't believe that men masturbate or have to, clear out the pipes that often, your man is lying to you. Okay? And I don't even care what age they are. Maybe I'm hoping that somewhere after 50 or 60, it's got to cut down a little bit. But to date,
No.
yeah, right?
No.
It doesn't seem to be slowing down any.
I just turned 21.
Couple times a day, something's got to happen. It's a mind of its own. And guys, if you're wondering where it goes from just spontaneous combustion for you, where you're just walking by, it'll be far worse when you're older. Like, it'll actually require attention. And that's when it really gets out of hand. Why do what a silly...
No pun intended.
Well, what an insane question. Why do you think that is? Like, what else can I do if I'm sober? I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Well, I think you can get rid of the men in recovery part and just put men.
Yes.
Period.
I mean, I can completely understand why women should avoid all men in recovery, but I'm going to safely guess that the only thing they've got going for them is sex.
Well, the big book does say, when problems with sex arise, throw yourself into helping the newcomer.
Right. And I hate to be the dick to point this out, but wasn't Bill cheating on his wife? Wasn't that established?
Oh yeah, but it was the 30s. Everybody did that.
Slanderous! How can you speak of the great Bill Wilson in such a manner?
Oh,
Bill did drugs,
dude,
and Bill cheated on
so
his...
racist.
Yes.
I thought Sid Portier was going to come shoot me.
I just think it's hysterical.
I felt dirty just from reading
I think it's hysterical every time. Like, we've all... It's like backing L. Ron Hubbard. Sometimes... I mean, if you really look at Bill Wilson's life, you are backing L. Ron Hubbard, except with recovery. I mean, it's pretty crazy. He's not doing any...
Well, no, I see the difference between Bill Wilson and L. Ron Hubbard. Bill Wilson wanted to cash in on helping people. L. Ron Hubbard just wants to bang everybody. It wasn't about the money.
He just wanted to create the cult so he could bang everybody. Okay. And again, one of the reasons why I wanted to create a cult. Next question. What's the next amazing question? You're going to have fun on this show.
What is your experience with working with newcomers that relates to outside addictions?
Well, what is it? We've got a question I can't answer. My answer is I don't know. Because the truth is, a newcomer with an outside addiction, my experience is they're not telling anybody about the outside addiction. And generally speaking, because nobody's got their shit dialed in at meetings, they don't think that what they're doing...
If you have problems other than addiction, it doesn't really come out until... Or problems other than alcohol or drugs. It doesn't come out until...
I agree. And because our meetings are so...
I feel bad for people that struggle with that and come to me for help. Because... To me, I guess maybe I'm jealous of them that they care about something that much to be twisted about it.
Well, the meetings themselves are generally somewhat monosyllabic too, right? They're just, this meeting's just about drinking, no crosstalk. This meeting's about drugs and alcohol, and no other discussions can be had. And and that's the way people sponsor too. Oh, yeah, that's not a problem. Since you're not drinking or using, don't worry about that. I actually had a sponsor when I was trying to deal with my family stuff in a 4-step. I had put my stuff in, like direct stuff, and they're like, you don't really need to add that stuff in. Really? It's causing an emotional reaction, and I'm overdoing this particular thing. Why wouldn't I do a 4-step for everything? I've never understood that. And there are certainly sponsors who think in that fashion. It's definitely a problem. It's sad that people can't be more open about everything that's going on in their world. Oh, I'm overcompensating by watching 400 hours of TV. I'm masturbating every 3.5 minutes. I'm always on the computer watching porn to, get away from the way I feel. Like, tell your sponsor, bro. Tell your sponsor. Seriously. And if your sponsor goes, oh, that's good, at least you're not drinking or using, get a new sponsor. That's not healthy. There's nothing healthy about being at Shakey's Bunch of Lunch from the minute they open to the minute they close and eating constantly for 5 straight hours. I think that's a very safe statement. I'm not sponsoring anybody, but if somebody came to me and told me that they were doing something on that frequent a basis to hide from how they felt, they've got a problem. Again, just go back to chasing women. I think that's probably safest. Just find one that's way out of your league and chase desperately after her and feel bad for yourself. Pity is good.
Yeah. Yeah, and direction is good.
Nobody takes...
You know, even if you end up with nothing, you stayed sober through the chase.
Definitely. Any more questions?
Let's see. How have the steps helped you in your recovery and with other issues that may arise?
Again, I think it comes down to who you're...
Well, if I haven't worked the first step on it, how are the other steps going to help?
Yeah, I completely agree.
You know, I mean, I could work 6 and 7 on a few things, but if I'm not, I mean, I'm not willing to quit gambling. I was once ranked 3rd best in the world at gin rummy. I came in 3rd in the World Series.
Can you actually play gin rummy in Vegas for money still?
Yeah, they have tournaments about every 3 months. Yeah, they're not as big as they used to be. When I first started going like 20 years ago, I was the youngest guy there, and there would be like 300 people. And now when I go, I'm still the youngest guy there, but there's only 60 people because everybody else died. So, I mean, it's not, the poker is definitely taking it over.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, I mean, so to me, playing gin rummy would be like Michael Jordan playing one-on-one basketball for money. It's is it gambling? Yes. Is there 1% chance he's going to lose? Yes. And some days that 1% will arise. But, I mean, as long as I'm winning, I'm sinning.
So we'll end on this final message. What would you have? Because now everybody is emotionally heightened through the holidays. They're all feeling touchy-feely. What is your advice for sex through the holidays?
Much as possible. Go home to your family. Call up that girl that you couldn't get in high school. See what she's up to.
Okay, when should I worry that it's become too much of a problem in my life?
Blowing rent money at the Topless Club? Maybe?
That's a fair statement.
Yeah. Marrying a girl that dances at the Topless Club?
Yeah, see, I've never done the stripper. I don't even understand how to land the stripper thing. I've never done that. I don't...
Oh, it's... No.
Really?
No effort at all.
Where were you when I go through my single phases on these particular topics?
It was probably a good thing I wasn't around.
That's a perfect level of drama. I've always said, and by the way, I've always said this, if you are in that category that can land strippers, there is a great way to have a short-term relationship where you will lose everything at the end of it, because they will just leave you and steal it.
Yeah, you lose it fast, though. It's
but it will be fun and wild, and
the faster it is, the more painless it is.
Sounds fantastic to me. So the takeaway from this episode is date a stripper?
Without drinking? Okay. No, that's not the takeaway. The takeaway is to date a next stripper that's in recovery now.
And that explains it. And thus, that explains it all. Hey, sign up and get more of these words of wisdom from us. We're going to get back to the steps after the holidays.
God.
Who listens to this show and why? Send us an email at Black White Recovery and explain to us.
Yeah, we'll keep it anonymous, though.
Mostly, yeah.
You don't have
I won't read your email.
When are we going to start selling T-shirts?
Keep it anonymous.
Is that
No, we'll have T-shirts. I know how to do that. We can actually have. You could start submitting your ideas for T-shirts, and I'll be more than happy to get those produced. We'll get a T-shirt shop going, so that the secret cult of those that listen to Black White Recovery,
mouse pad.
I'm wondering if anybody's actually has
Coffee
listened to the
cups.
first episode and stayed sober all the way to this point. If you have, send an email.